Salute, guys, and welcome to class. Hit that like button on the way in, and if you don't like what you hear, you can also hit that like button on your way out. We don't cater to any groups, gangs, communities, feelings, religions, emotions, none of that. We cater to the truth, we cater to common sense, and we do not complicate it.
What it is, what it is, what it is. Y'all know who the heck it is. It's your boy, Mr. OKL, coming back at y'all boys again. And as y'all can see, we are continuing a live that we had before with a special guest of mine that I had on the page. Okay, so as y'all can see in front of y'all, the thumbnail says Housewife or Independence, Part 2. Like I said, we're going to continue this conversation, okay? Because we want to know what's really going on. What does it really mean to be a housewife? What does it really mean to submit to a man? What does it really mean for a man to be a man for submission, etc., etc.? So we're going to get right off into these endeavors. Without further ado, first thing y'all need to do is hit that like button, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, and make sure y'all boys stay tuned to Mr. OKL. I got Lessons of a Housewife in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let people know what the heck is going on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lessons of a Housewife. How y'all doing today?
Okay. I heard it from her mouth. Lessons. First off, before we even start the show, let them know where they can follow you at. Let them know what you do. Let them know what you're about. Just go ahead and spill yourself real quick.
All right. Well, y'all can also follow me on YouTube of Lessons of a Housewife. You can follow me on IG at Lessons of a Housewife. I'm a traditional housewife that takes care of her home. And I currently started my own social media content to try to help younger girls and young daughters out here to understand my role, so that way they could become one.
Wonderful, beautiful. And I love how she connotated that. She said she wants to raise up or help young girls. You know, she's not out here trying to tell y'all men what to do. Okay, so you guys don't have to come on the page like, oh, why you got a female on the channel trying to tell people what? No, this is not what we're doing over here. We keep virtuous women over here. We keep chaste women or chaste women over here. Okay, so that being said, let's get right on into the show. Guys, we got a good one today. The name says it all. Lessons of a Housewife. And I think a lot of people need lessons from a housewife. Not only women, but men as well. So let's start off by getting to know you real quick. How old are you? Where are you from? Are you married, single? Do you have any children? Any question that you don't feel comfortable answering, you don't have to answer. But I do want to extract some information from you so that our audience could kind of see where you're coming from. You see what I'm saying?
I am 34 years old. I was born in the North, currently live in the South. I am a mother of 3. I have a biological daughter, 2 stepsons, and I have a very, very intelligent husband that I take care of.
Okay. Okay, and you said something significant. You have 2 step children.
Yes.
But before you said that, you said you're a mother of 3. I
Right.
liked how you said that because it shows me that you didn't shame or you didn't put any negative or derogatory connotation to that. So basically, as a stepmother, how did you step into that role where you were like, you know what, these are not my children biologically, but I'm still going to play my role? How does that work out for somebody like yourself?
My husband's character was what shined the brightest, and understanding where he's come from and what he's doing with his life and his children, it didn't hinder me in deciding to, let him take me on too at all. I let it come with time with the children, so that way it wasn't forced upon. And of course, with time, the children, I grew on the children. But I've always wanted to have a family, and I didn't disregard him out because he already started one.
And would you like? Would you say, from a woman's standpoint, is it easier for a woman to take on a stepmother role, or would it be easier for a father to take on a stepfather role? Elaborate on that for me, please.
It's way easier for a woman to take on a stepmother role. You know, we're our natural behaviors of wanting to nurture is a big part of us, to where we don't want to see any kid without. I mean, us women that still have that feminine, state of mind, don't want to see any kids without someone that could be there to help with boo-boos and just
Okay.
be a little mentor or nurturer for them. So it grows on us, which is why women would accept pets. It's the need,
Buy a dog and die alone.
So it's way easier for women. We're designed that way, as it would be harder for a man, because men can only truly take on what they have created.
Okay. So we're gonna leave that part alone. That's something deeper to extract, but we'll leave that part alone. All right, wonderful. So guys, hit that like button. Hit that goddamn like button. Hit that like button.
Like buttons up, please.
Lessons of a housewife. How did you and your husband meet? What was the dynamics? And it doesn't have to necessarily be in specifics where, oh, you guys met and he was charming. Like, where were you, and where was he at in his life, and how did you and him come together in that point?
It's I guess I don't want to get into detail on how we met, but
you don't have to go too deep. Remember, like I said, if you don't feel comfortable,
right,
you're good. You know what I'm saying?
We had started conversations first, and we talked about everything. And the one thing that I loved about him is he was straightforward. He told me who he was. He told me what he was doing. He told me about his plan, what he's trying to do with himself, not me included, goals that he was working on, troubles that he's had that he's fixed. And I fell in love with everything he was saying. And then, of course, the interests that he had was similar to what I was intrigued by too. And he also had new information that I wasn't aware of. So that was even intriguing. I feel like women, fall for guys that can give them that shock and awe. So he had experiences. He's a vet, so he's had experiences that I've never even seen before in my life. And we spoke for weeks before we actually had our initial date. So by the time we got to our initial date, we were just we had conversations for hours on the phones before. We were able to constantly communicate, seeing each other face to face, and enjoying that time. And it wound up becoming to where we were pretty much inseparable. And I've always made my time to be available to him. At the time I was working, I was just a little waitress. I didn't have a career, or I didn't really have those type of dream goals these women think they, is important today. I was just a little waitress, and he was on this really good path, but he made time for me, even if it was the smallest time. It would be like maybe just a time to come pick me up, and we sit and talk, and he'll fall asleep while we're talking because he don't work 16 hours a day. I enjoyed the fact that he picked me up just for those few hours.
Right.
So I always made myself available to him when I could, for him to come and just, take me. And he showed me about everything he was doing career-wise, and he would actually take me on the road with him at the job he had at the time. And that we even spent time like that. Our dates would be at his place of work, just for that little bit of hours, his lunch break. I'm there with them, being introduced to
come on, lessons of a housewife. He didn't take you to a 5-star dinner. He didn't take you to Bruce Chris. Like, why did you choose him?
Right. Like,
right.
that shining and that dining and whining stuff is just freaking overrated. Any woman that she feels like she's obligated to that's already a red flag. I was appreciative of the time that he had for me. It could have been the littlest of times. He would pop up at my job to be like, hey, just want to check on you. I got to go back to work. Give me a kiss and go. And I was so flattered for that, because he was able to think of me within that little bit of time. So we wound up growing so strong with one another to where we just became unbreakable. And of course, not every relationship's perfect. We have had issues in the past. I was I was really naive to the world, so I did have some conditionings that I've broken, that I have broken over the years. So we weren't always perfect, but we worked through everything together.
It ain't gonna be
Everything.
perfect. And I
It's
love
not.
that you said that. I love that you said that.
It's
Shout
not.
out, shout out to that. Good Bread is in the building. I want him to chime in.
Hi,
What's
Mr.
going on, big bro?
Goodbread.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all feeling today?
Good,
Good.
good.
Uh,
We
great.
hey, Good Bread. We got lessons of a housewife. Definitely is an example of what we talk about when we break down the conducive relationships and the mind states of a woman that we revere to. You know what I'm saying? Women say they're high value, but they don't say it with a man. She happens to have a man, a husband, and she's doing it right. Good Bread, chime in, talk to us, let us know what you're thinking about.
I just jumped on, so I just want to be a fan for right now. But I appreciate the sister. We need more sisters like her. That's
Thank
that,
you.
that's not fearful. That's not fearful. And again, great vetting, great way to vet. Because also I know why we don't get a lot of sisters like yourself on these type of panels, because this is an all man space. So
Right.
normally, soon as a female come on this in the space, we automatically assume that she's a modern woman, and
Right.
and we got to stop doing that. You know what I mean? We got to stop doing that.
That's why I put the fork in the road in the beginning. Like, don't even come at it like that. You never see okay bring somebody on the panel that's not really conducive in the mind state. So uh Good Bread, me and her were just going on a back and forth. I want you to do you got time?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, lessons of a housewife. I want to continue with questioning, and I want Mr. Goodbread to chime in because, that's my big bro, and he definitely has a lot of insight on relationship statuses. So, lessons of a housewife.
Yes.
What does it mean to submit to a man? Is it something that's harmful? Why do so much modern women look at it like it's a kryptonite to their power?
Uh, they the real reason why they look at submission as kryptonite, like you said, is because them having to give up control, and that's what they want today. Modern women want to have control of everything that they say, they do. They involve themselves with men, and the thing about submission is understanding that you're subordinate to the man. So
Okay.
when you're submissive, you understand the man's ideals and logics is going to consort for your needs also, not just his.
Okay, so hold on real quick. I want to stop you, not to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that point you brought up because it renders back what you said, control. Good Bread.
Right.
You have a submissive woman. We all know who you got, Mrs. Goodbread. Are you trying to control her, like because you want her to submit to you, or is it like a superiority complex? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? Why do women think it's a control thing, Goodbread? I want to hear from you real quick.
All right, y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because y'all know we finna get it. We finna touch on it. We finna go in. All right. For one, women are manipulated. They have been manipulated. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna go biblical on you guys today, but we know that women have been manipulated. For some weird reason, somebody tricked them into believing that our superpower, which is being masculine, and masculinity is their superpower. My female, Mrs. Goodbread, she know that her submission and submissiveness as a woman is her superpower, and that's what keeps me simping. Because I told y'all, any woman that like the truth and is submissive, I'm gonna simp. If she can take the truth and if she can remain submissive, I'm gonna simp. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Really, realistically, guys, women that still are women know that every man, we have no choice but to be kind, protective to a submissive female. Yo, ain't no man gonna sit there and stand there and watch a woman that's being a woman get taken advantage of, unless he's a hell of a son. But then that's a red flag for the female to know. You know what I mean? That's red flag. So it's no excuse. But
That
yeah.
I love that spill, and I want to kind of piggyback it right back to Lessons of a Housewife, where she said it's not necessarily control; it's more so beneficial to you. Lessons of a Housewife. How does submitting to a man benefit a woman? Because obviously it's misogyny and it's control. It's like slavery. But I need you to kind of break it down for us a little bit.
The benefits of submission is so you can prosper in your your feminine state. You know, you can prosper and take on your natural, you know, structure of yourself. You can let him lead and have him guide you so that way you're able to guide the children correctly, and it keeps a structured household for you, for the children, and you're able to, I feel, walk with joy and pride that you can be in your natural state. You know, it's a lot harder to have to pretend to be something you're not, you know, because at the end of the line, you're always going to want to revert back to it. There's two examples out there I don't want to mention because I know there's going to be a whole issue with one of the communities, but you always, at the end of the line of trying to transfer yourself into something, want to revert back when you could have just started off at being in your natural state and what you're supposed to be. And so you blossom that way. You're a lot more youthful. You know, you get a lot more love. The man cherishes you because you allow him to become the leader that he is. And not necessarily allow. I want to take that away because
Right.
we do not make the choice of a man to be the leader or not. They usually are. We give them the ammunition to take on, to push them to that leadership that they are, you know? So we supposed to be the ones right there that's rubbing their backs and saying, go ahead, honey. And it's the love you get back from that. When your husband or your man needs those words of encouragement, he's willing to put his life on the line for you. So why wouldn't you just give him not even give him the right? Why wouldn't you just become what you're supposed to be? Why not just be in your feminine state and become the subordinate? So that way he knows that what he's protecting is worth it. And that's just the value is in that. You know, you have a security of your life. There's a man that's willing to put his life on the line for you. And you're able to protect your kids and make sure your kids grow up well. You're able to make sure you're okay. You know, you're following the codes and guidelines for him. So he's going to be able to do everything he wants for you guys, you know? So it's a beauty in the family structure that has been broken. There's beauty in it.
And what I want you guys to understand, what she just broke down, it's Spanish to a modern woman because they have gone through so many derogatory men, which is why they always talk about their past trauma. They've gone through so many derogatory men that they don't understand how to submit to a man because they keep blaming, you know, the men that they've dealt with on every man that they see next or they choose next. That being said, it raises another question for me, and this
hold on, before we jump.
Go ahead, Mr. Goodbread. I was waiting on you.
Before we go to the next topic, what you just said was absolutely correct. But you see how it gets twisted too, because nowadays, guys, these little girls ain't even in relationships. Then the guys are not. It's no relationships going on. So we're talking about the parents that's supposed to be teaching this next generation. They still clinging on to hurt and damage to where they're now teaching it to the little kids. So these little kids is learning from 4 years old. I'm talking about the little girls, that is. They're learning from 4 years old that they don't need no man. Plus, they got single mothers is ruling, and they're watching their mother do everything. You know what I mean? So now when they get with a man, submission is so far from their mind because since 4, they've been doing everything. They've been watching their mother do everything because she still haven't attracted a man of value. So, I mean, the kid don't know all of that. All the kid know is that no man want her moms. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how you brought that up too. You feel me? Even a side note on what you just said, Goodbread. At my store, like I always see the young ladies, like or the young girls. They be like 12 or 10 or 5, and they always got some money in their purse. But the boys, they always get told, "Oh, go pick out what you want." They don't never have money, so it's like these young women are being raised to be strong, independent at
And
a
consumers,
very young age.
right?
You hear
And
what I'm saying?
consumers.
Exactly, and consumers as well.
Yep.
Right. So and it segued that actually segued to my next kind of question for both of you and lessons of you, Mr. Goodbread, and lessons of a housewife. Where do we learn all this from? And I want to start off with the men. Where do men learn this weak nature that they have to pander to women? And where do women learn that they have to be treated like how Beyonce said, you don't think you're irreplaceable, or I don't want no scrub. Like, where do women learn these things from? And I think Goodbread touched on it. I think they learn it from the parents. But if y'all want to go ahead and dabble on that real quick, where do you think these kids are learning this from, where they're growing up to be 21, 23, and they're growing with these derogatory mind states? Where the hell are they getting this from?
Again, if you said it right, I got it. Let me use me as an example. Before I changed the laws of my mind and realized not to go with the programming, before I went MGTOW and went the other way from the black cultural programming, you know what I mean? I had a hell of a mother, and I listened to her, and she weakened me by her not attracting a man, not allowing me to see a man take care of her. I didn't know what it was to take care of a woman. All I thought was I gotta buy a woman a gift to make her happy, because on my mom's birthday, on Valentine's Day, these holidays, I'm buying my mom's gifts. She's teaching me how to buy her a gift.
That's a fact.
So only time I know is, a woman is happy when you buy her a gift, when you simp. You know what I mean? You see how we're all raised in simp culture.
Good point.
And it's our moms. But some of us have the gall to call it out. And then you got some of us that want to dig in that cat litter and cover it and act like we all got some super moms. But, you know what I mean? And this is no knock on our moms. She just, this information that we teach, this information that's out right now, think about it. Social media gives us an advantage. It's a gift and a curse. They didn't have that back then. So all they knew was how to bring us up, to keep us alive. They didn't know how to educate us. So they maintained us, but they didn't raise us. And you know what I mean? You can, and it's that. That's that.
Lessons, what you got to say about that?
I'm glad he said that, the mother thing. I wanted to touch on what you said, Mr. Goodbread, about the mothers, because the thing about when you have these single mothers is what they do with their sons is they constantly complain about how men aren't good. And if you see your mother constantly on a dating, in this dating world, being in the dating market, all you want is the natural behavior of a little boy wants the mother to be happy, of course. So they start to take on these feminine ideals of how to treat women through to how their mother was responding to men. So they start to simp out more. My mother should have been treated like this, so I'm gonna do this. I felt like my mother should have had the world, so I'm gonna give the girl the world. And they start simping before they even know if this girl's worth the simp.
Right.
So that was a good example.
Point.
And what Kilowabo said, of course, the social media, entertainment, everything that's out here that's in the tip of your finger right now is definitely a big part of the indoctrination. Music that you did a video earlier, OKL, about the top 5, not top 5, but 5 examples of songs that were played that pretty much indoctrinated our community, and many others, And there was a couple songs there that, I've actually enjoyed in my youth, but did we actually listen to the words, So there's so much out here, the media, entertainment, television shows that has pushed this type of idea that this is how men's supposed to be and this is how women's supposed to be. And being that we didn't have the structured roles in our home where we were limited to this type of access, where the fathers are like, TVs is off at a certain time, like how I was raised, and, you were only able to watch certain stuff. We started to take on these traits and these personalities of people that we've seen on TV, because we thought that's what it was. That's it. It goes with the modern women and with the simpish men. You know, there's so many shows out
Hmm.
here that show simp men's winning the girl at the end or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
think
Yeah.
about it. Think about it, guys. Our woman of the year is Cardi B, so that
Yeah.
makes her King Ahab Offset the man of the year. And that's the programming. They want all of our women to be and move and act like Cardi B, and they want all of the men to be an Offset.
Hmm.
Quiet in the house. When the last time you saw an Offset? When the last time you saw his married wife Cardi? Bet you see her way more than you see him. That's what they want. That's the new agenda. The new agenda is to turn the men into little girls and turn the women into little boys.
Right.
And
The
that
fact.
way, when they come over, they can knock the men over. The men is so weak, they can knock the men over, and then they can reprogram the women to be slaves. I stand on that. I mean, that's biblical. That's in the biblical scriptures.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, it's going to be a
We all
period.
stand
It's
on
going to
that.
be a medieval period. You know what I mean? They say winter is coming. The recession is near. It's January. It's January, February 2023, and it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Which segues me. Let me ask y'all another question. Let's get back into the housewife.
Yes.
What are the duties of a wife? Okay, and I want to speak on the duties of a woman who is already a ready and prepared wife, not one of them ladies that say, oh, did you put a ring on it yet? All right, so I'm not gonna do no wife stuff yet. Like we ain't
Right.
talking about y'all, because the Bible clearly says he who finds a wife finds a good thing, not he who finds a woman, not he who finds a lady, not he who finds a virgin. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. So
Right.
what are the duties of a wife, a ready and available wife, even before you even get with your man?
Um, I could name a
Hold on,
lot of.
hold on, guys. Can I just say something real quick?
Of
Titus said,
course you can.
"Okay,
Go ahead.
okay, you right? And but when you interpret the Bible, he interpreted it as he wrote it as if we was all going to follow it. So I don't like to tell the people like, oh, when he say wife in the Bible, you know what he talking about. If you're having sex with a particular female, y'all married and under his eyes. So that is equally equivalent to your wife when you're reading these scriptures. When you're in the scriptures and the context of
Hmm.
the journey is clear. And to top it off, it's rare because he also have in Proverbs 31, who can find the rare virtuous woman.
Good plug
That's
in, good
why
bread. Good plug
that's
in.
why he says he who finds a woman finds a good thing, because he know it ain't too many great ones out there.
Good plug in. That's why I let you segue that. I love it.
Facts. And he know that. That's his words, not mine. So I mean, I'm not bashing women. I'm just giving people the biblical red pill facts, the truth.
Right.
And it's clear we can look outside and tell. Like, we don't have many lessons of housewives on the panel where we gotta yell and scream and curse shit. YouTube not gonna push this video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start cussing it
As
out
a
and
fact,
all
they
that.
not used to this. This right? What man and woman chilling, talking, vibing.
Right.
Wow.
Not having to be combative and
And this is what Okay Let's Talk TV is about, man. We bring the real. We in the dean's office, righteous fear in the building. I know what the hell time it is. I know what the time it is.
Yo, and guys, this is what happened when you put your ego aside and you trying to figure out solutions. Ain't nobody asking for anything from each other. We just want solutions and good conversation.
right.
Y'all go into these panels with pre-assumed notions and stuff like that. You're not gonna get very far in the conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's get back to you.
Okay. The question you asked me was the duty,
What is the duty of a ready and available wife?
the duty of a available wife.
Yes.
Not one that's taken. Okay.
Let's start with that one.
That's a good question. I honestly, I want to make a biased statement, just to how I was to be ready to where my husband knew I was ready, was I was willing to give up anything that he thought would hinder us. And I think that showed the form of submission right there. If a woman's readily available and wants to be married, the guy that chooses her, because we don't pick well, obviously, the guy that chooses her would probably come with a certain structure for you guys. Are you willing to give that up?
So basically, sacrifice. He was willing to sacrifice.
Sacrifice what makes you modern, or anything that could hinder you from y'all to become one. I'll use what I did as an example. When I was working, my husband, if he ever was, at the time he was still building himself. So if he was ever tight, I let him have it all. I pretty much would give him everything. I gave up the finances, so that's the hardest thing for modern women to do. And that's why they choose that route, because they need money, but if you're willing to give up the access to create your own money and follow a man's guide and leadership so he can make both of y'all prosper, that will be the best way to go about it. What are you willing to sacrifice?
All right. So if I'm incorrect, correct me. So you basically were willing to sacrifice being a strong and independent woman,
right?
And you were willing to submit to a man and get on his program.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, that's a beautiful spill right there, and I so appreciate her for that, for saying everything she said, because she broke it down to the molecule, guys.
Thank you.
And this is what I tell people, and this is why I tell them, stay out of other people's relationships. Sierra and Russell Wilson. You don't know what he requires her to sacrifice. Obviously, it's not her profession and how she get money, which is twerking and doing commercials and doing music videos. You know what I mean? So we don't know what the sacrifice is, but like she said, every man requires a sacrifice to queen you. And women think that they're the man in these relationships. A lot of modern women think that they're the man, that they're the prize, and that's where they go off. That's where they go off the hinges wrong. But that's absolutely 100%. What she said is 100% correct. Because look, some of us get lucky. A big requirement of mine would be no social media. Good thing Mrs. Goodbread don't have any social media. So, I mean, that's not even a requirement of mine, because she don't have a social media. You know what I mean? She don't have no social media presence. And I mean, her Facebook that she made back then, I run that page whenever I get blocked on Facebook. Like, so it's like,
right.
And then it go back to what she said, because a guy, however the guy's leading and however he's building, I mean, might not necessarily require her not doing something. I mean, because it's pertaining to the God. I mean, women are the rib. Women are the rib. So when you fit the women into the frame of the God, you know what I mean? The guy don't fit his frame into the rib. The rib fits into the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Into the frame. The guy is the frame.
Right.
So that was beautiful.
Big point. So, Goodbread, just to extract, do men have to sacrifice in relationships as well?
Yes, men do. What you mean? We got to sacrifice. Everything is a sacrifice. Like, we got to sacrifice, bro. We got to sacrifice, and men got to submit too. See, this the thing, yo. Hit that like button or leave.
Do that.
You might not like this, but hit the like button on the way out.
They ain't gonna like it, Goodbread.
You know what I mean? Because we removed the gray area. We ain't got time to play, because playing don't get no work done. You know what I mean? So, I mean, men have to sacrifice, and men have to submit, guys. We have to submit. When I say MGTOW, y'all sit there and y'all take this mainstream shit that the red pill done spit on your favorite channels. MGTOW is Romans 12:2. That means do not conform with the ways of black culture. Black culture is what's running right now with the music, the TVs, the mainstream. This is black culture. This is black. We are not supposed to conform in any which way with that. That's Romans 12:2. That's MGTOW. That's the MGTOW verse. And he says it in there. Go the other way. He says it. His words. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta go the other way. Because who are you going to? All these folks over here is worldly. They worshiping the money. Just like Lessons of Housewife said. That's why financially, if a female can sacrifice the money and give her money to make you look good. Remember that video I did where me and Miss Goodbread told you that modern women, they have a absolute problem being stingy. They stingy.
Mm-hmm.
They stingy, bro. And that's
100%.
one thing. A woman gonna spend money and invest on what she really like. So if
Right.
she not investing in you and you doing all the investing, that's a red flag.
Right. Right. I highly agree to that. I highly agree to that. It's like they I was gonna make a video about this, but I believe that social media is the conjuring of the 7 deadly sins, all 7 of them. You
It's a
know,
fact.
it gives women this pride. You know, it makes people sloth. They don't move from their phones now. They don't move from the from TV screens, computer screens. You know,
They rap. They rap.
greed,
Let them get
rap.
triggered.
You got all of this. Everybody's constantly capturing videos of people just going at it, and instead of breaking it up, or they intentionally are causing chaos just for likes. You know, you have greed. Greed is the biggest issue that modern women have. Envy. You're looking at all of these little fake lives, and now you want it. You know, it's one of the biggest X factors that we have.
Obesity too, because you can Uber Eats anything now. You can sit your big ass right down and Uber Eats anything.
There's people that even watch people's YouTubes that just eat and listen
weird.
to the sounds of eating. I will never understand that, but it pretty much it created all 7 deadly sins, and it's embedded in these women now.
But I said that a while ago too, that he not coming back. So I don't know why they use the Sky Zaddy. They use the Sky Zaddy trick in the church, because Sky Zaddy not coming back. God is already here, and he have everything implemented for everybody that want to choose otherwise to kill themselves. They're gonna do it to themselves, just like how black culture did it to itself. When you research the history repeats itself. We always do it to each other. Come to find out, through the movie Woman King, we sold each other to the fucking Americans, to the American boats.
Yep.
So you know what I mean?
Always been on.
We always do it to ourselves. That's why the biggest battle will always be you versus you. Not you versus the modern woman, not you versus the submissive woman, not you versus the white man. It'll always be you versus you, guys. Don't do it to yourself. But back to this joint, man. I love this. One duty I require though. One only duty I require for Mrs. Goodbread is the kids. Like, and she give me total access to the kids. Like, she's so like I could marry her if I was worldly. Like, we could get married. Like, she's one of those girls that I can marry her. But like, I'm anti-society. Like, whatever society is doing, yo, you can count one thing. If you don't know nothing, you know that Mr. Goodbread is not doing it. It's not doing it.
Let me ask this question. One of my famous questions is this for both of y'all. Whoever want to start answering, go ahead. Who controls access to sex, men or women? And also, who controls access to relationships, men or women? We can start off with the sex part first.
Women controls the access to sex. Men control the access to relationships.
Well, damn.
It's simple, plain and simple.
It's plain and simple.
Ms. Goodbread controls
I would love to hear the excuse if there's any woman that's actually watching this that disagrees on why do you think we don't, you know? So, but we do.
Those would be the ones that try to lie and say, but he should have put a condom on. He shouldn't have left it in. He shouldn't have left it in.
They're gonna say that.
It's the guy's fault that your legs is open. Okay.
With that 150-year-old story.
I got an interview with a white woman that I'm about to break down soon. She said, "Oh, he's the one that penetrated her," and it's like, okay, all right, whatever. So let's move further past that. All right. So that being said, if women control access to sex, we'll get to the relationship part in a second. Who is causing more of the detriment in the dating market, men or women? If you would put men and women on the scale, who is causing more of the detriment in the dating market?
Women.
Men, men.
Oh shit. Hold on now. Lesson said women. Mr. Goodbread said men. What's going on here?
I say it's men,
We
bro.
got a
You know.
debatable here. Hold on. Let me.
Listen,
You hold on. Wait. Let me let Lessons go first this time.
I believe it's women. Um, well, because I honestly believe that men would have was going to have options. Men, obviously with their age and their value, they get higher. They were always going to have an option. Women are canceling themselves out, and it's making the pool, especially in our community, a lot smaller. Even though that we outpopulate the man, but what it does is it starts to hinder our growth as a Black community because men are going to start to choose to go elsewhere. And when they start to choose elsewhere, we don't grow as a people. It's going to be nothing but, mixed races, which I'm not against at all. I have very good friends that has mixed children. I'm not against that at all. But we're not growing. Our community doesn't grow. We're at a stagnant because we have all these other options to deteriorate our race. So with women being as rambunctious and crazy as they are now, these modern women, men actually starting to see this dating pool being so slim, they're going to go elsewhere. And I believe that they should. Men are supposed to create their legacies. They're supposed to, procreate and be fruitful, and do for themselves, provide for their families. And if that's the last choice that they have, they're going to, because usually that is the last option, men actually dating outside their races. But with a majority of Black women being so misguided and falling into the lies of destructive behaviors, it hinders the growth as a people. We don't grow. It's going to be less and less of us soon in the future. And I feel like the women are the problem because of that.
Okay. Goodbread. You said men are, you know what I'm saying, the one are causing more of the detriment in the dating market. Can you elaborate on that real quick?
absolutely. If I got 3 examples right now, right? One is the easy, obvious one. If men stop simping today, if every single man stops simping today, by next summer, the females will be acting some right. It'll be evened out. Guys that deserve to get women will get women. You know what I mean? Like for the brotherhood. If all the brothers, because we all brothers, right? This is what we all saying. We brothers.
Right.
If you tell the truth on a brother in the Black community, you know what I mean, he gonna be mad at you because we supposed to be brothers, right? So if all of us brothers got together and stopped simping, by next summer, every brother will have their right pick of the natural order will pan out. Because there's a girl for every guy on this planet.
Right. I could agree to that. That's
you know what I mean?
Good point.
Then we got, I always say, men are the Carnet. Coochie is powerful, but men are the Carnet. So if men stop giving the power to the coochie, then let me remember, the coochie is like the wall in the socket. You know what I mean? We're the plug. We're the appliance and the plug. We can take our plug out and take our appliance somewhere else. We don't have to necessarily put it in and make that connection and have this. You know what I mean? Like, so we have done that. Like our fathers. My bad. Our fathers ain't contribute. Our moms ain't contribute. You know what I mean? So it left us we have to go to our father, our biblical father, bro. You know what I mean? We have to. But dudes is running from it and dudes is suffering. It's the dudes, bro. It's the dudes.
And I love both of you guys' points. I agree with both of you.
Okay, not to cut you off. And the absolute fact, which is the biblical truth, who ate the apple? Eve. And who also ate the apple? Who allowed her to eat the apple? And not only allowed her to eat the apple, and ate and participated. So you
Adam,
know what I mean. It's always like I said, history repeats itself. So it's going to take Adam to tell her to stop, not to eat the apple, or it's going to take Adam to tell her put the apple down, like not take in her foolery. You know what I mean? All right, the women are selling coochie nowadays, so you know what I mean. We can't buy it, and you know what I mean. We can't go buy it and then talk about it, and talk about
right?
oh they selling Gucci. That don't
That's a
make
good
sense.
point.
You know what I mean? Truthfully, like no all gray area removed,
I
like
promise that was a good. I was speaking on that in my video earlier on the 5 songs that created beta male simp nature. You know, a lot of men allow this shit, and we not supposed to.
yeah, they being mingy to their brother, not even knowing it. Subconsciously, they being mingy to their so-called brother because you trying to skip ahead. You trying to skip the line. You know what I mean? That's all simps do. Simps refuse to do self-improvement. Simps refuse to submit to God. So they don't want to submit. They think they know better, so they try to skip the line and use the money. You know what I mean? But that's worldly shit, bro. He telling you don't conform, and you trying to do it that way, so you gonna always end up with dirt, bro. One of these dusty chicks and child support.
Okay. Let's
that ass, no cap. Y'all know how I kick it, bro. I don't stand on nobody. I don't talk down to my brothers. I talk up. I speak up for my brothers.
That was
That's
a great point.
Yeah.
Great point. Let's get to the relationship part. Men control relationships, correct? Is everybody in agreement with that?
Yeah, we control relationships. Like I just said, I'm not getting married. You know what I mean? And I make it loud and clear. I'm not getting married. And Miss Goodbread with me, she rocking with me. She's still submissive to me for 17 years. So she control the sex. I can't get no sex. You know what I mean? If she don't allow it, and she can't get no marriage if I don't say I want to get married. So yeah, you always on point with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Lessons. What do you think?
I agree. The same way, I agree. You know, when women are the access, holds the key to having sex, as the men are in the full control of your relationship, your marriage material or not. You know, so that's why we're supposed to be careful on how we present ourselves, so men can understand what role we would be in their life. But women think that they could just be anything today and still get a man. But they learn the hard way in the end anyway.
Okay. Let me ask this question right here. What is a pick-me?
A male NGA lover. That's what they call a male NGA lover. That's what they call them. That's
What's
what
I've never heard that.
That's what modern women call our sisters. Her so-called sister that like black men. That's what she called them. That's like how they used to do back in the slave days, when the white people used to like, and the cool white folks that used to like us, they used to try to take care of us. And then a white person ran past them and saw that. They'd be like, "Oh, you being a nigga lover." You know what I mean? So that's what the sisters call the other sisters that like men, that don't want to be little boys.
Okay.
Hell of a. That's what they call them. Pick me.
Okay. I agree.
It's funny. I've been trying to figure out what exactly they mean by calling women pick-me's, because I've even been constantly called that, and I'm already picked. So ain't I the chosen one then? But
yo, that's what I was saying.
That was a great point.
That's what I was saying.
Pick me. I'm married. I'm chosen. Y'all are the pick-me's. Y'all are the ones needing attention to try to get a guy to pick you, right?
Exactly. All women want to be picked. That's what it don't make sense. All women want to be picked. You know what I mean?
So again, let's get to the core of it. What is truly a pick-me besides the derogatory, besides all that shaming? What is the true pick-me? The girl that actually wants to be. What is that defined as?
A traditional woman, a conservative female.
I'll go back and forth on that. Let me know what y'all think.
I'm gonna say a traditional female, a traditional woman, a conservative female. That's what a pick-me is.
Leslie?
I like that the definition of that being, that's what a pick me. But the being that the modern women use it to try to make it harmful for women like me or women that want to become something like me. I honestly I honestly believe like the term in itself is really what they are, because they strive so much for attention to get a guy to come in their DMs to say, "Hey, I choose you, Pikachu." So like it's the ones that are single that are desiring attention from a man are the ones that's really screaming up, pick me. But
lessons, it's deflection. They do it to us too.
yes,
They call us Jay. They call us Jay, and then go turn around and kiss each other. It don't make no sense.
Yes, sir.
Can't make this shit up.
Shame, insult, guilt need to be right.
But I do love his term on what the pick-me's are. Like if a guy, if you heard a guy say, "I'm looking for a pick-me," that would be the definition I would hear. What Mr. Goodbread said, I would consider that being the actual definition. But being that modern women want to use it as a derogatory term, it's kind of funny because they're the ones that are pretty much jumping up and down, like, "Hey, see me, look at my butt cheeks, and look at these tights, like choose me," So it's funny. It's like he said, it's deflection.
Okay. Move on to the next one. Y'all piggyback off this. I'm gonna say it and y'all just tell me your thoughts. Men age like wine, and women age like milk. What are you guys' thoughts?
That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact, bro. That's a whole fact. You know what I mean? And it's up to God. It's up to God to slow that down. Like it's up to God. God control everything. So the women that look fried, hella fried, you know what they did. They got some real mean shit in their cat litter. You know what I mean? They got some shit in their cat box. Had their kids covering it up for years. You know what I mean? It's just written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's God. That's God and his hourglass. God sit there with his hourglass and you play with him and he play with you.
Right.
The fact. Get it.
I could agree to that. Women age a lot faster than men do. And due to the hormonal structure of us and the childbearing and everything like that, I think is why our youth is compacted into such a small time. And men are always supposed to be able to procreate and lay their seed and create. Men can create a whole society themselves. Just a few men can repopulate an earth if they have a bunch of women. So I think the testosterone in men, and this might not be scientifically true, this is just my opinion, the testosterone in men, them being very active and their bodies being conformed as tools, gives them a more of a youthful structure in their lives. That as women, we're more laid back and I guess content and timid. We're supposed to be, timid, to where we're having all of the hormonal structures of us and the childbearing that kind of will wear our bodies down, and it limits us, so what is the thing that happens when you get a little bit older and you no longer can have children? That's a big part of our aging process. Men are supposed to constantly continue to accumulate women, and no women today want to speak on that. The whole polygyny structure of things. How I feel like all men are supposed to have that in their lives, and that's another part of the guy's youth too. You have to continuously procreate. With y'all youth being extended longer than us, it keeps y'all testosterone levels up. It keeps y'all sperm levels up. Y'all can populate. So I think that's just that's my, philosophy on the science structure of it. But yes, we do age a lot quicker than men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna just add on to what she's saying. Truthfully, historically, what it was the way it was designed was women supposed to be pretty and they supposed to doll themselves up. Like, you gotta get it. Women take the kids to school, right? They come back in the house. They got all of the time in the world to do them and dollify themselves, prettify themselves. See, women, they did some extra shit. And they done accelerated their aging process. You know what I mean? They done ran in grandma's closet and stole everything out of grandma's closet except for some damn dignity and some damn toughness, real toughness. You know what I mean? They put all this makeup on. They pack the makeup on. They, know what I mean, they all damage their hair. They all damage their hair, and they blame that on man. But ain't no man ever gave a woman hair advice, hair tips. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they all run around here bald headed. Then don't forget, they trying to be independent. So when you be independent, a woman is designed for what you heard. What I just said. They supposed to be in the house. 3 o'clock come, they go pick the kids up, bring the kids back, get dinner ready. Ain't stress. You not stressing. They added on too many cats, bro. And then with that now, right? Because now you got to be independent. So now you out working 9 to 5, 9 to 6, trying to compete with man.
Right.
So now when you get home, you got you got to go pick your kid up, bring your kid to the crib. You got to go to the crib. You ain't got time. It's like 8 o'clock. You did not cook no dinner. So you stop by Popeyes, you grab the processed food. Before you know it, you bust that down. Processed food is what's killing them. Black don't crack, but it expands. And then Friday come, because you done did all that shit. You done went to sleep, woke up, repeat. You did that 5 days. Friday come, you relax. You drink your wine. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, hey, go to Sutter Home now. Bust out the Sutter Home. You know what I mean? Bust out the Beringer, the Moet. And, you know what I mean? That shit all takes a toll on you. Like, these women are now living like rock stars. And they weren't designed to live like rock stars. That's why they breaking down the way they breaking down. They broke back mountains, yo.
That's why there's a whole epidemic of these women trying to get these surgeries, because they know that we decline. That we are depreciated items, you know, more than a man is. And they feel like their independence is the fountain of youth. You know, they can get all the type of surgeries and makeup and facial reconstruction they could possibly be to look like a 20-year-old when it winds up looking way worse than it did when they were 20, to try to keep this youth. And that's why they don't want to give up independence. They still want to have the attention of a 20-year-old. They still want to be able to look like a 20-year-old, and money is the only way that can happen. It's another vanity, you know, disease out here these women are on, which is why they can't stand being in a marriage, because they won't be able to do that. They won't be able to just take all this man's finances and blow it on themselves or get intention from other men. You know, so.
Right.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Good point. What's a man's duty in a marriage? And I want to start off with lessons of a housewife, because we don't only talk about the problem, but we also want to bring out solutions. A woman does have to recognize a man's ability to be able to, provide, lead, be competent, and also be strong enough for her to see his will. So what is a man's duty for a woman like yourself to recognize that?
Okay, hold on, guys. I gotta go real quick, but I'll be back.
Okay.
If y'all still on,
Okay.
I'll jump back on.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
You want my answer before I go?
Yeah, go ahead. Close out since you got to go. Go ahead. Let me hear you.
All right, the man is the brain, the man is the head. So my duty is to think at all times. I got to think. God, we call women dumb and we play like that, but guys, Beyonce, she's not the thinker of that power couple. You know what I mean? And she trusts that Jay-Z is thinking all the time. All right, y'all. But that's my duty, and that's your duty as a man. Think. You're the quarterback. Think. I'ma holla at you, okay? Lessons of Housewife. It's been great, and I can't wait. I can't wait to check you out on the channel. Can't wait to interview you at the school. You know, Common Sense.
Yeah, definitely.
She be there soon. Don't worry about it, good brother.
No doubt. Okay, set it up, and we'll probably, matter of fact, we'll do like a taboo night or something. It'll be me and you against her and Mr. Goodbread or some shit.
Right.
We go. Hey, trust me, we got it. Hey,
right,
peace,
bro.
Goodbread. If you can come back on, if you still on, come back on. All right.
Bet. I'm gonna get low, man.
All right, for sure.